Hello guys, so today we're going to look at some junior JavaScript developer interview questions. So these are three questions we're going to look at. That's FizzBuzz, duplicates, and anagrams. So FizzBuzz, it's like write a program that prints a number from 1 to 100, but for multiples of 3 we print fizz, and for multiples of 5 we print buzz, and for numbers which are multiples of both 3 and 5 we're going to print FizzBuzz. And then we have the other two questions, that is duplicates and anagrams. So duplicates, we're just writing a function to find duplicates in an array, and for anagram, we're just checking the anagrams. So you can pause the video and look at the other two questions. So we're going to go with the first one for FizzBuzz. So we're going to create a function named multiples, which doesn't have any arguments because we know it has to be between 1 to 100. So then we're going to take a for loop. We're going to use a let keyword and give just I is equal to 0, and then I less than equal to 100, and then increment I. And here we're going to just create some constant variables. So that's like multiple of 5 and multiple by 3. So multiple by 5, it's just I percentile 5. So if the I percentile 5, the modulo division is equal to 0, then it's multiple by 5. So we're going to create one more keyword, just multiple by 3. Sorry, one more variable. And then we're going to check. Now, the reason we are giving not of multiple by 5 is because we get I percentile 5 is usually equal to 0, then it's multiple by 5. But since it's 0, it can be termed as false, in the Boolean. So that's why we are using not of multiple by 5 and not of multiple by 3. So since when it's multiple by 5 and 3, what are we going to do? We're going to print FizzBuzz. So that's here. We're going to do a console log. And then we're going to use just else if conditions, and we're going to check for each of it now. So first we would check with multiple by 5, which is printing buzz. That's good. And then we're gonna again create another else if, and then we're going to check for multiple by 3. And here in this case, we're going to print fizz. And then we're going to take an else in any other condition, like the one we're going to just print the I, because we're just going to print the value. And just one correction here, the let I is equal to 1 in the for loop should have been I is equal to 1, because we're doing from 1 to 100. And then we're just calling the multiples function. We're going to open the new terminal, and we're going to just check what are the files in that directory. We're using the ls keyword. Yeah, and then we can see there's a first.js. That's the file name. So we're going to use node first.js and then run it. So here I've just changed 100 to 15 just because it's easier to verify. It's like one instead of 100, we have replaced it with 50. So here, when you see the console, now we can see. Ignore the 0, 1 because it's the FizzBuzz which came for 0. We can ignore that. So 1, 2. If you see all the 3, you can just pause and look at it. All the divisible by 3s, divisible by 5s, and see you can see the last one too, which is 15 divisible by 3 and 5. So that's how it is. The next we're going to look at is the duplicates. So with an array of integers between 1 and x, you know there's at least one duplicate number. So write a function for finding any duplicates. Okay, so we're going to create a function, duplicates. And here we're going to give the argument as an array. So we're going to create a new array too, which is duplicate value, just where we can store in all the duplicates which we have found in the argument passed. And then what we're taking is we're taking the current value. We're just taking some keyword called current and we're just placing the first index value of that array. But before that, it's we're sorting it so that it goes in an ascending order. And then we're taking that lowest value, that is array of 0, which is the first index value. We are putting that into the current variable. Now this is so that we can keep verifying each index value. That's the reason in the for loop, we're taking the first, we're starting it from 1 because we have already saved the 0 index value in the current. So as usual, the for loop syntax, let I is equal to 1, we're doing I less than equal to array dot length and I plus plus. And now what we're doing is we're checking each an array. So if array of I, that is at that particular index, is equal to current, then it's a duplicate value, right? So we're just gonna push it. So we're gonna take duplicate values dot push of array of I. So once we are done with that if condition, we're gonna put the array of I into the current element because that's easier to verify. Uh, yeah, so this has to go after the if condition. It has to be in the for loop. And then we're gonna return the duplicate values. Then we're gonna call the function. So we're gonna call the duplicates function with the argument now as 1 1 1 2 3 1 2 4 4. So the ideal output of this, what the expected result should be, just 1 2 and 4, right? Because only 3 is not repeating, the others all are repeating. So it should be just 1 2 and 4. So let's look at it if we would get the expected answer. So we're going to open the new terminal again and then we're going to just run node first.js. So ignore the first FizzBuzz results. But you can see now here, the 1 is repeating thrice. So that's something we have to look into. We can just close the terminal. And that means in the duplicate values array, we need to check if that value already exists. So if it does exist, we should not push. So if it doesn't exist, that's when we push. That's what we're doing. Not of duplicate values dot includes array of I. So if it doesn't have array that value, then that's when we're going to push it into the duplicate values. So we're going to open again a terminal and then we're going to just run it. And then now there you see. So that's the expected results. Perfect. Now let's look at the third one. We're just removing that so that we don't see them again. Now, yeah, perfect. So now looking at the anagram. So write a function to determine if two strings are anagrams. An anagram is defined as a string which has the same number of characters and the same frequency as another string. For example, cat and ark are anagrams, but cat and rat are not. Perfect. So what are we going to do here? So what we do is, because we have strings here, it's better to split them into an array, and then you can sort that array so that becomes like in an ascending order or in an alphabetical order, and then you can again make it into a string and then compare. So what we're doing is we're making it car, you know we're making it car and then making it arc and then joining them and then comparing. So let's create a function anagrams, and we're taking two parameters. So two arguments are the string 1 and string 2. So what we will do is right now we'll just console and see what's happening. Okay, we're not going to do the full coding as of now. We're just going to check each of it, string to array to this. So let's take a mod for string variable. So first what we will do is we'll split it into an array and let's see what is the output of this. So if we give car, the output should be C comma A comma R, like in an array, right? So that should be. So let's console it and see. Yep, the console should be below the function. Yes, because you're calling that function. And we have to return the mod for string. Perfect. So now let's open the terminal and let's see what happens because we're doing that string to array. So let's see what happens with the car argument. Yeah, perfect. So that's we got CAR, and now what we're going to do is sort. So it should become ACR because you know in an alphabetical order. So let's see. So we're doing sort and then we save it and then let's check. Perfect. And now what we're doing sort to string. So that means it should come as A comma C comma R. So we're going to use the join function for that. Perfect. So now we're going to repeat the same thing for the second string. We're going to take one more keyword called let mod second string, and then we're going to do the compare action. So we're just going to check if mod first string is equal to mod of second string, and then we're going to return like say yes they are anagrams, and then else probably no they are not anagrams. Perfect. So now the output what we have to get is yes they are anagrams because it's car and arc are anagrams. So let's just check that. Yes, they're anagrams. Perfect. So let's change it now and let's just check. And now we have to get no, they're not anagrams. Okay, why did we get that? Oh, because we didn't save the file. So this is a very honest mistake. So once you save the file, it's going to be no, they're not anagrams. So now we're going to get no, they're not anagrams. Perfect. So this is how it's going to be. So I'm going to include all these questions in the description box, and then you can just do it by yourself, and then maybe verify with these solutions. And that's for now. So we'll come back with some more challenges in future videos. Thank you.